Okay, cool. So I've just hit record on this. So what we're talking today about protein. Reason being, it's just one of those topics that always comes up in conversation, and it's really important that you guys know why we talk about it. And sorry, I'm just pinning myself here. So why we're talking about it, what you need to be eating, when you need to be eating it, and how much. So this is for you. If you find that you're training regularly, but sometimes maybe you feel like your results aren't fully matching the effort that you feel like you're putting in, you're not getting the return on investment for the exercise that you're doing. If maybe you're starting to feel a bit hungry, a lot of you will be in a calorie deficit, which essentially means you're consuming less than the energy that you're putting out. And you might be feeling quite tired, a bit hungry, just a little bit flat, despite feeling like you're eating relatively well. Um, if you're struggling to get enough protein, which I know is a really common thing, and also if you already don't really know how much protein you need to be eating, this is a really great place for you guys to start. Um, it might be that you're not finding your meals that satisfying and you're not finding them very filling. And you want to get a little bit more energy, a little bit more strength, and start transforming your body composition. So, by that, I mean reducing down in fat and building up muscle. So, let's touch on why protein matters. Protein is so important and it has a really bad, as soon as you think of the word protein, you naturally think of, oh, big bodybuilders, and that's all that they eat. And so you kind of steer away from it, thinking, do you know what? I know it's important, but I don't need that much because I'm lifting weights, but I'm not a bodybuilder. But ultimately, protein is really important whether you exercise, don't exercise, because it's what supports our strengths, our muscles, and it helps with our metabolism. So it's going to help when we're exercising, our muscles are put under stress. And by us eating protein is what's going to help the recovery and the growth of that muscle. It's going to, when you're in a deficit, it's going to be what's going to keep you fuller for longer. It's going to fill you, it's the element on your plate that's really going to fill you up. It's going to help give you energy and it's going to give you more focus during the day, and it's going to be your main element of food that's going to make your fat loss that bit easier without eating loads more. So the common protein gap is what I see is like most women will come to me and they might be eating enough calories. A lot of women are overeating in calories, a lot of men too, but um, for the purpose of who I typically coach, a lot of women are eating more calories than they think they are. They think they're eating relatively healthy foods, and yeah, maybe they are, maybe they're not, because a lot of food is marketed as healthy, but that's a whole different topic for another day. But actually, they're not too sure of what's in it. But the main consistent thing as well is that they're still under eating on protein. And more so, it's not that they're always under eating, it's that they don't actually know how much protein you need to be eating. Um, on a day-to-day basis, but also to help build and grow muscle. If you're struggling in a calorie deficit as well, it's likely that you'll be feeling that your protein is low. So why is it that we frequently have such low protein? Because carbs are chucked in your face. Essentially everywhere, like carbs are so like they're in every meal and they're the one that gives you energy. And yeah, they do. Don't get me wrong. I'm not anti-carbs at all. I know sometimes I sound like I am, but I'm not. But like for breakfast and snacks, when you think typically about breakfast, you think, I don't know, maybe toast, maybe porridge. I like porridge, porridge is good, but like Weetabix or cornflakes. And none of them have really got that much, aside from porridge, none of them really got that much protein in them as such. Most breakfast ideas are quite carb based unless you add something like an egg. People don't tend to plan their meals around protein. We tend to think, whilst we have like potato and veg, we can now consider that as like an old-fashioned thing to do to have your meat, potato, and veg. We're more focused towards like revolving our meals around carbs, around like pastas and rices, which isn't wrong, but if you want to start feeling fuller for longer and you want to start seeing more results, you need to be eating the right amount of protein. And to do that, you need to flip your mindset on how to eat protein. The other common thing that I find is people are busy. Like we're all busy nowadays. Like we've got so much going on. It's so rare that you have time to sit down and think about what you're going to eat or like planning your meals because we're always rushing around thinking about the next thing. We don't necessarily feel like we have time to plan ahead because that seems, in a weird way, far too organized, but actually it's the most time efficient thing to do. Um, so we don't have this planning that we need to have to kind of prepare ourselves for the meals. So it's a little bit about changing your mindset on how you eat and what you eat as well. So how much protein is the right amount of protein for you? So it's completely different for everyone. Um, it's based on like who you are, whether you're male, female, what weight you are, what goal you're looking to achieve. But as a simple rule of thumb, for what we're looking to achieve, so like body changing body composition, so losing fat, building muscle, as a guideline, I would say eating about 1.6 to 2 grams per kilo of body weight per day. Now, I would say that's a starting point. And for some people, it might be that I've put you on lower protein based on what your previous protein was. Because 1.6 grams of protein is a lot. It feels like a lot. If you're not used to revolving your meals around like chicken or around fish, then it can be quite a lot. So if somebody comes to me and they're eating, let's say 30 grams of protein, which a lot of women are, then when they come to hearing that they need to be eating 100 grams of protein, that's like, holy fuck, that's a fucking lot of protein. So what we do is we'll drop it lower. So it might be that you guys have targets around 1.2 and they'll slowly be increased over time until you're getting to the 1.6 or 2 gram range per kilo of body weight per day. But you can look at it whilst I give it as a day. I also break it down into meals as well. We'll run through that too. But it's not, you don't have to be perfect all the time. It's like your steps. You don't necessarily have to do it all textbook because one, that's unrealistic and it feels unachievable all the time. Two, nobody's perfect and that's okay. That's absolutely fine. But the most important thing that matters is that you have consistency over the week. That's the thing that's most important. So if you can aim to look at it as like a daily average, but then also as a weekly average too, and just try and be in or around that amount of protein is fine. Like you don't have to be on the spot with it all the time, just always aiming towards it. So let's put that into context because it's easy me saying you need to be eating like 100 grams of protein, but what does that mean and how does that break down? So I've run through some few meal ideas because I've seen there's a few questions going around about protein, about meal ideas as well. So what does it look like in a meal? So let's go for breakfast. So breakfast, I would say aim to be eating about 20 grams or above. And the reason behind that is that your protein we know is going to be what helps fill you up. So if you're eating at least 20 grams for breakfast, it's going to reduce you getting to 10, 11 a.m. and being like, oh, I'm really hungry. I want some biscuits. If you're eating a higher protein breakfast, and let's say your carbs are a little bit lower, you're going to not have that sugar peak in the morning. And the sugar spike is going to go up and then it comes crashing down. And that, if you've been having carbs for breakfast, that bit there, when you get to the low, that's again when you're going to be struggling. You're going to want to reach for something sweet about 11 o'clock. You want to eat your lunch a little bit earlier, which in turn is going to make you hungrier later. So it has a bit of a knock-on effect. So if we can keep protein high in the morning, it's going to keep you fuller for longer, curb that snack time a little bit. I can't guarantee it will completely go, but it will keep you fuller for longer and it will curb that snack time. So some high protein breakfasts that I recommend. Like you can get fancy as you like. For me, I like to keep things simple because it's the only way, or it's the way I find it easiest to be consistent. So I have, like, say, let's say Greek yogurt, having about 150 grams to 200 grams of Greek yogurt. When I say Greek yogurt, I mean Greek yogurt, not Greek style yogurt. They have a very different protein content. Um, so Greek yogurt is a lot higher than Greek style. So if you have like, let's say 200 grams of Greek yogurt, you're nearly getting like about 20, 22 grams of protein in the morning. So what I would do then is, for me, I add a scoop of protein powder or half a scoop of protein powder, and then that adds in another 10 to 20 grams onto that. So you're already starting your day on near on like 40 grams of protein for the day. So Greek yogurt, berries, I do a scoop of protein powder in mine, a big, like, well, actually, no, about 15 grams. So, like a serving of peanut butter, which actually is like a tablespoon of peanut butter. And I put, did I say berries? Frozen berries, put them in the microwave for a bit in the winter. In the summer, I normally have fresh berries. Pour it on top. And that in itself comes to about 400 to 500 calories. And whilst that seems like a lot of calories, if I'm eating that at like 9, 10 o'clock, I'm not really needing to eat anything until 1. So don't get me wrong, there are some days, like I say, where I am walking around the kitchen, but that's more so from boredom. That's not necessarily because I'm hungry. But that breakfast can sustain you for quite some time. Another good breakfast, eggs, anything egg related, whether it's like poached eggs, scrambled egg, have it going for like 2 eggs, add in 2 egg whites because that will increase your protein significantly as well. Have it as an omelette, have it on toast, have it scrambled, however you want. Um, or even like egg muffin things. I'm sorry, I've got a cough still from being away. Um, Protein smoothies. If you can be organized or even like doing the night before, even in the morning, scoop of protein powder, mix with milk, water, chuck in a banana, chuck in some oats if you want to, or a dollop of peanut butter to increase the protein in it. That's a really good start to the day as well. Um, if you can do it either in the morning, nice and quick, or the night before. A lot of people get fancy with overnight oats and things like that. I don't, purely because I'm sure they're great, delicious. Do you know what? I just don't really plan for that next day. I'm really happy with my breakfast and I really like my yogurt, so I've never really felt the need to mix it up. So let's go through lunch examples. So breakfast, 20 grams plus, lunch, 30 grams plus, where you can. So some examples here, I would say always think about when you are thinking about a meal, you need to be thinking about protein first. So if you let's go through some lunch examples. So about 120 to 150 grams of chicken, turkey. That's about 30 to 35 grams. The reason we choose chicken, turkey, relatively lean meats. Um, Tuna salads for lunch. So if you put one tin of tuna in, comes to about 28-ish grams of protein. I like to add on nutritional yeast flakes. I eat a lot of salad with any form of protein purely because I like the consistency. When I say consistency, I don't mean the texture. I mean like I like doing the same thing consistently. Um, so tuna salad, then I add on nutritional yeast flakes. I don't know if you guys know what nutritional yeast flakes are. Hang on, let me grab them. Wait, stay there, stay there, stay there. So these these little bad boys. I really, really like them. They're kind of a bit like fish food, to be honest with you. But they're really good. Like I use it as a cheese substitute. You can put it in sauces, like to make it thicker. I put it on salad with put some olive oil on top and mix it up. I'm not gonna lie, it's not for everyone, but it is pretty good. Like for 5 grams, which is I think is that 5 grams fat teaspoon, isn't it? It's got 2.4 grams of protein in it. So I add two lots of that in and I sprinkled it on top, and that's immediately got me additional 5 grams. And peas as well. Um, and also adding on a couple of eggs. Salmon and veg, salmon and salad, 30 grams. Chicken breasts, chicken breast and salad wraps or in a sandwich, it's about 30 grams. Um, then you've got cooked lentils. The other ones, the Merchant Gourmet. lentil packs that you can put in the microwave. They are great. They are so handy if you're on the go, going to work or something, and you want to grab something from a supermarket or just something that's quick and easy. They're really good. And then if you can get a packet of chicken or a packet of prawns or a bag of salad or something to go with it, mix up. It's a really, really nice meal, and they're relatively high in protein, especially if you're going to add it with chicken as well. But not for the people that are obviously going low carb. But like I say, like carb isn't for everyone. So protein needs to be the main feature in your meal. That's the aim we're going for, not to be sprinkled on top. So
Ellie,
yeah.
quick question. Can you eat too many eggs?
So oh my goodness. So actually, um, it was Nat that told me this. You can eat all the eggs. Like I thought there was a rule and you could only eat 2 eggs a day.
Same, same.
I thought that was a rule until I spoke to Nat, and she's a
Yep.
nutritionist, and she said, no, that's not true. She eats 3 to 4 eggs every day because
Okay.
it's different cholesterol in the egg to the cholesterol you get in your body or something like that. So I'm going by what the nutritionist said. You can eat eggs.
Perfect. I'll follow that.
Yeah. Maybe I should get more information on from her from that. But as soon as I heard it, I told Max as well, my husband, and I was like, Max, did you know you can eat more than 2 eggs? Now he has like 4 eggs on toast because he thought there was a 2 egg rule as well. So
Yeah. Yeah.
yeah,
Lovely. Okay. I'll take
yeah.
that. Thanks.
So dinner examples. Yeah, again, chicken, turkey, mince, great, white fish, salmon with veg, potatoes. I do a lot of stir fries. We have a lot of, I say Max cooks us a lot of stir fries with vegetables, any form of protein. So I don't eat meat, but we normally have prawns or we'll have like bassa fillets. They're a really cheap, easy way of getting protein into your diet. Not necessarily the most tasty fish, but sometimes you just got to tick a box, and that's a really great cheap way because the protein costs can rack up sometimes. Um, sea bass fillets. For me, summer is the best for this kind of food because we just have barbecues every night, so just grilled fish or meat. But in the winter, lots of fish tray bakes. Um, Three bean chili, that's a great one as well. But the thing with that is you do have to have a large portion. But for when you've got big appetite, that's not a problem for me. So when it comes to protein, you want to be thinking it to be palm sized, at least palm sized, probably slightly bigger. Snacks. I love snacks. I've never tell somebody not to snack. I'm an avid snacker. Um, where we can, if we can curb the snacking, that's always a win because snacking is often where the calories creep up. Um, but so here are some ideas. I would allow protein allowance for snacks. So I would say like a minimum of 10 grams, especially if you're using your protein shake as a mid-morning or a mid-afternoon snack, which is what I frequently have, a 3 p.m. protein shake to get me onwards. 3 p.m. tends to be my boredom window. So that's when I'll wander around the fridge, cupboard, have a look at everything. But instead, I'll do that. But then I'll know that what I'm going to have is actually going to be a protein shake. So it kind of ticks that box at the end. Eggs, biltong. Biltong's a great one if you eat meat. Cooked chicken, like just from supermarket, make sure it's actually proper chicken and it's not processed chicken. But if you can get proper chicken that's cooked, even cooking breasts of chicken and then putting them in the fridge during the week for you to snack on, maybe with rice cake or something. Egg muffin frittatas, things, they're really good. I love, not for everybody, I love a packet of prawns, like just plain cooked prawns, flavor or no flavor. I'm very happy with them. Sometimes I add it into an avocado as well, just, mix it up a bit. Cottage cheese on crackers, cottage cheese with berries. Don't knock it till you've tried it. Protein shakes, protein bars. Be mindful of protein bars because a lot of them have got quite a lot of sugar in and they've also got a lot of crap in as well. Um, if you're low carb or choosing to go low carb, you have to really read the ingredients and check what the carbohydrate rate is because a lot of them can be quite high in carbohydrates too. But they can be really good stopgap. Uh, yogurt, ski yogurt, or I use. I never remember. Is it Fire? Fire. It's spelled Fage, but it says on the side Faye. Fire. I use that one, 5%. I would always say as well, go for at least half fat yogurt, Greek yogurt. Don't go 0% because it's just not going to keep you full for long because you need the healthy fat in your body so that because that's going to be what's going to give you longer term energy and it's going to keep you give you energy long term, but it's going to keep you going essentially. But people hear the word fat and they're like, no, I don't want to eat fat. But actually, I'd say go at least 0.5% fat when it comes to yogurt. Just be mindful of the calories in it. Mixed nuts, roasted chickpeas, really good roasted chickpeas. Um, Protein puddings as well. You can get a lot of protein yogurts, protein puddings. Again, they're not necessarily the healthiest for you. I wouldn't necessarily say rely on them all the time, but if you want to have a chocolate pudding or you want to add in an extra few grams of protein, they're really good. The ones I think it's like Get Pro or GoPro. Um, can't think, and the brand that begins with an L as well. They're really good. And they actually taste quite nice too. Peanut butter and apple, great one. And peanut butter bark. So like banana, peanut butter, frozen in the freezer. Obviously, how you freeze things. Then get some melted chocolate, dark chocolate. Darker the better, but not 100%. That's too dark. Melt it up. Take the take the banana and peanut butter out. Pour on the chocolate. That's a really good snack. Put it back in the freezer. It's a really, really good snack, and you don't need much of it. It's quite sickly. You can do the same with dates underneath too. When it comes to eating out, I we get this is something a lot of people ask about in their weekly check-ins. Like what, and I always want people to say if they're going out and they don't know what to eat, then talk to me about it. Like let me know where you're going and I can help you. Um, there's two ways to take eating out. One is fuck it, let's enjoy ourselves, and then we crack back on as soon as we finish our meal and like we get back on track, and you accept it. You've calorie banked through the week for it. The other option is you can just be more mindful about what you're eating. I guess you could do a combination too, but if you wanted to be more mindful, then this is what I would go for. Like if you're going to a restaurant, going towards things like Turkish, maybe Lebanese, focusing more on like grilled meats, grilled fish, and then having salads with it. Japanese, lots of sushi, sashimi, um, getting fish in, trying to avoid in sticky noodles because that's where the calories ramp up and they don't always have as much protein in. Um, any form of like bistro or pub style food. Go for meats, fishes, salads again. Indians and curries, like tandoori, tikka, tomato-based curries. And I use a lot of, the Spice Taylor curries. I talk about them a lot because they're my go-to on a weekend when I want something nice. I want a takeaway, but they're pretty good. Some of the ones that are more tomato-based, they're pretty good for you. They're not too bad at all. All the ingredients are pretty clean in them, and most of them don't have added sugar either, which is always win. Um, it got Chinese Thai. That for me, maybe on a diet, I wouldn't really go for because it's not necessarily the best. Delicious, but I do have a recipe book for homemade, good Chinese food that is nice. Give me a shout if you want it. Indians, Italian and pizza. Go for more of like a sharing style pizza with lots of protein on, or I would say again, go for something meat focused, or just have like a little bit, like like the pizza with the salad in or something, so you're still enjoying it. But going back tomato-based pizza over the cream-based pizzas too. Um, so what I want you to be mindful of is every meal, choose a clear protein source first. So if we have a plate of food, I want you to be thinking about like half the plate being protein. So most nearly half plate, probably, yeah, just over a third to half plate being protein. Next bit, fats. You want about thumb size of fat. So the fat is what's going to give it flavor and it's going to give you like fullness. It's going to make you feel more I never remember if the word is sustained or sustained. You know what I mean? Um, then fiber, never forget the fiber. The fiber is like the best friend of the protein. Um, and it's definitely not to be missed because it's really good for you. And it's going to help you with your long-term fullness. So got really low calories. Most fibers got like really low calories. So chuck loads of fiber. So when it comes to fiber, like eating things like yeah, lots of salads, vegetables, chuck loads of that on your plate because that's gonna fill you up and it's gonna be lower in calories. And optional, you can add carbs for your energy. I'm not anti-carbs. They're great. They have a time and a place. But they're optional because I know some of you are preferring to go down the low carb diet option. So if protein isn't obvious on your plate, it's probably not enough. So protein is like protein shakes. Don't see protein shakes as like a negative thing. They're at all. Like you can have protein shakes. People are often like, oh no, I'm not going to have protein shake. I'm going to eat it naturally. That's cool. Like go for it. If you can get enough protein in your diet, go for it. That's a win-win. Like amazing. But if you can't, I'm one of these people. I have protein shakes because I think they're so practical at filling up grams of protein. Also, they're nice. Or some of them are nice, but I think it's don't turn your back on them. Don't say no just because of the stereotype of it being a protein shake. Um, Repeat your meals. It's okay to eat the same kind of meals every day. If you want to keep on track with your protein and your nutrition, like it's fine to eat those meals. Have like a rotation of meals that you keep eating because then it's going to take away your decision fatigue of what to have next, and you know you're eating the right amount of protein. So what I would do is on my fitness pal make your meals as you're going through. It might take you a little bit longer for the first few times, but you log on your meals, and then next time you know roughly what you're going to put in it, and then you can just drag and drop that meal into your daily plan. Pre-cooked protein is good. It's allowed. It's not a problem. Like anything like, like the Waitrose rotisserie chickens, that's a really great quick thing to buy to eat for lunch. Or I know sometimes in the city, some of the Waitrose have the hot counters of chicken, things like that. Like go for it. They're a really good way of getting protein into you. Even the packets of cooked chicken, packets of prawns, salmon, anything like that. Just make sure, read the ingredients, make sure that they're relatively good and low on ingredients, so they've not got too many additives, too many added things. But that's a great way to start. Convenience beats perfection. You haven't got to make everything from scratch. You don't have to be like these people on Instagram that every meal looks perfect and it all looks neat and pristine. It doesn't need to look like that. It can look like slop on a plate, but if it tastes good and you're happy to eat it, that's absolutely fine. Your busy days, you need structure. You don't need, it's not a matter of like willpower and resisting things. On the busy days, you need to have your structure. So you need to be planning ahead, thinking ahead of what you're going to eat. Don't rely on just going to the shop and just be like, oh, I'll just have this, and this. Pre-plan in your mind on your MyFitnessPal what you're going to eat because it will help you a lot. So it's really important because it's going to give us better energy. You are fueling your body. It's going to help you with recovery. You're going to get better results from the training that you're already doing. So protein is a really vital part of your diet just to help you reaching your fitness goal. Don't forget fiber. Do not forget fiber, though. Eat lots of fiber too. Protein and fiber go hand in hand like best friends. Um, so that is all from me today. I think I've covered most of the main bits about protein or anything. Any questions? If you've got any questions, give me a shout. Otherwise, we can catch up another time. If you think of something at a later date, we can catch up another time. But that is the end.
Thank you.
You are so welcome. Oh, let me stop the recording.